In this tutorial, I want to continue working by adding handrailing on the top of the fly deck. Let's start by entering the dub edge command, then let's make a curve of these edges. I finish by pressing space. Then I join all curves to each other by saying join. Then I enter the offset command and offset 0.1 meters inward. Then let's select both parts and call it isolate object. Then I want to explode the part inside. Then enter the line command. Let's draw a horizontal line to hold it from the end exactly from this line. Then I want to center this line. I'm centering using Gumball's green arrow. Then I want to come to the appearance. I enter the copy command. Then I want to make copies at 1.5 meter intervals. Then I mark all options as yes. And resume by left clicking of the mouse. I finish by pressing space. Then let's come to the perspective view. I'm choosing the perspective view. I enter the line command. Then I click here, shrink the perspective view 0.75 meter high line. Then I want to come to the intersection at this point. I opened intersection, I grab the intersection and draw another 1 meter high line. Then I want to copy the 1 meter high line to the other intersections. I delete the outside curve by delete. Then I enter the copy command. I select the part, grab it from the end and leave copies to the intersections. We get symmetry on the other side, and there is a lot of space in this part as well. That's why I want to leave one more copy in the middle part. I entered the copy command. I took the end, let's open near. Let's leave one more copy centered, I press space. We can move a little bit to the right. I entered the move command, I grab the point and swipe right a little bit. Then enter the line command again. Let's grab the middle of the piece here. I turn on the mid option. I'm holding it mid and let's draw another 0.5 meter high line here. Next, let's move on to the perspective view. I can delete all horizontal lines. Then I select all vertical lines. I deselect the bottom sides by pressing Ctrl. I enter the move command, 0 and get symmetry to the other side. Let's drop another copy exactly midway. I will click copy, I copied the line and left another copy. Then let's select all of these parts. Let's click show. Then I also want to select the handrail here. Let's call it isolate object again. Then I enter the interpolate point command from the curve section. Then only center and end remain selected. I'm using centroid. Let's zoom in near as well. Afterwards, I continue through the ends. I finish by pressing space. Then let's select this curve. Let's try lowering the control points a little. This place will also slide when we lower it, so I'm deleting it. I entered the curve command again. I got it from centroid. And this is how I draw a curve. Then I draw another curve by holding end and end again. After that, I can lift these points up a bit. I'm raising 2 points a little higher. In the front view, we see this more easily. I can take a little more. Let's move the control points back a little bit and it can stay that way. There is too much protrusions here. I'm lowering it a little. Don't exceed the height of the next point. And I'm bringing this piece down a little bit here. Then I come back to the perspective view. I enter the curve command, I draw another curve by holding the ends. We will not continue here. I click Ctrl Z and press space to complete it. Then let's symmetry this curve to the other side. I choose both curves, mirror, 0. I get symmetry to the other side. Then let's join them. I join both parts. Then I want to continue by drawing a curve again. Let's enter the interpolate points command. Then I open the mid option by holding the mid. I want to draw another curve. We can hold it from the middle of the lower curve. That way, it will be too crooked. Let's start from here. I draw another curve by holding the mids. I finish by pressing space. Then I want to enter the pipe command. Then let's create a pipe using all the curves. The measurement is 0.02 meters. I create pipes by pressing space. I will repeat the same process for all curves. Then I want to select all polysurfaces by entering Select Polysurface command. Before we do that, we can hide Handrails. Then I enter the command Select Polysurface. All polysurfaces were selected. I want to save it inside a new layer. I'll save it by saying Change Object Layer and hide it. Then I want to enter the Split command. Then I select the parts to be split first. I select the part to be split by pressing space and press space again. These parts were then split. Then let's enter the interpolate points command again. Let's draw another curve by holding the mids. I press space and draw another curve by holding mid. And I finish by pressing space. Then I can delete the curve at the bottom. I'm deleting the curve at the bottom. Then I re-enter the pipe command, then I press space 3 times and repeat the same process for the curve here. Then I can show the polysurfaces. This is how the handrails will be. I enter the command cell curve, I delete all curves, then I click Ctrl A, and I save everything in a group. Then we can show everything from the properties section. Let's turn off ISO curves too. I click Ctrl A and turn off ISO curves. Then we can check. And it looks fine. By the way, in the helicopter deck part, there are actually no fixed handrails like this. I'm assuming this isn't a fixed handrail either. In other words, when a helicopter lands here, the handrails will be opened and then handrails will be closed when people get off the helicopter. Because the height here is too high. If someone falls down from here, it will not have any good results for that person. That's why handrails are absolutely necessary at such a high point. But of course we can keep handrails open while the helicopter is landing. The handrails open as helicopter descent. After the helicopter has landed, handrails are lifted again to this state. Let this part stay that way, but let me tell you that they turn and off. Finally, I would like to add handrails to the sides of the stairs. Let's enter the line comment, then draw a straight line by holding the mids. I don't draw the other side, we get symmetry last. I enter the dub edge comment, then let's take a curve of these sides as well. Then I select both curves and select handrailing. Then I choose this piece, let's trim the excess. I guess it's not exactly worth it. I click trim, it didn't trim the excess. So let's do this. I'm choosing to the top. I want to stretch the point exactly to the edge. Then I choose the part, trim and trim the excess. Then let's choose both parts. Let's bring it to the same location in z-axis from the transform, set xyz coordinates section. I open near, then I choose the deck alignment. Then let's move this point exactly to the end. Then I want to offset this part inwards. I enter the offset command. I offset 0.1 meters inward and delete this piece by saying delete. Next, let's move on to the perspective view. Then I enter the line command. I'm drawing a straight curve from its end. Then enter the copy command. I'm holding the end 1.5 meters. 1.5 meters is a lot. Let's 0.8 measure here. 0.8 meter intervals. I draw two lines. I press space. Then let's move this piece to the right a little bit. Let's move this piece a little bit to the right. Let me click Ctrl Z and scroll both simultaneously. Then I want to re-enter the line command. Then I grab the end. And I draw 1 meter high line vertically. Next, let's move on to the perspective view. I enter the copy command. I keep it from end and leave copies for the intersections. I finish by pressing space. In this section, the height should not be 1 meter. I'm deleting this piece, then I enter the line command. I grab the intersection 0.75 meters height. I click 0.75. If I click 0.75, this place will be straight when I draw a curve. Let's increase the 0.75 a little more. 0.87 would be good a measure. I enter the line command, grab the intersection 0.87 even to be centered. Let's 87. Choose 5 and I click left mouse click. Then I want to enter the curve command. I set interpolate points. I draw a curve by holding the ends and I want to merge it with center it exactly in this part. Let's turn off other options. And I complete by choosing center it. Let's see how it looks. Then I want to enter the pipe command. I'm creating a pipe here with a diameter of 0.2 meters. Then let's click Ctrl A and turn off ISO curves. Might look pretty good this way. I enter the pipe command again. I'm creating pipes again using these curves. Then let's create a pipe in this part. I can delete long lines. Then I enter the line command again. I open end and open near. I draw a horizontal line from the end. Then I enter the copy command. Let's copy it again intervals of 0.8 meters. We can copy it so that it is exactly centered. I enter the line command and I want to keep it from mid. I hold it by mid and draw a horizontal line here as well. Then let's average it out. Then I enter the line command. I'm going to swipe right a little as there is some space here. In this way it will be perfectly centered. Then I enter the line comment. Then let the height be 0.5 meters in this part and 0.78 meters in the one next to it. I want to keep it from intersection. I click 0.75, I draw another line vertically. Next, I enter the command interpolate points. I want to draw another curve holding the ends and here the centroid. I can hold the end. I press space, then I enter the pipe command and create another 0.2 meter diameter pipe. Then let's enter the pipe command again. Let's create a pipe for these curves. Then let's enter the self curve command, and we can delete all the curves. Then enter the cipher command. I want to keep it from centroids. I turned off other options. Then I grab it from centroid, diameter 0.02 meters, I press space. And again, 0.02 meters, I press space. I don't need to create this part. Then let's select all the parts. And I click group. Then I click mirror, 0, and I get the symmetry to the other side. Then I can show everything. And this part could be like that. I click Ctrl A and turned off ISO curves. Then let's come back to the render view. I click render it, then we can check here. And that's how we set this part up. I completed Handrails modeling process as of this course. See you in the next lesson.